afternoon once again. It's a beautiful Thursday afternoon from the capital city center of Nigeria, Abuja, and we're broadcasting live from the Abuja station of KAFTAN television. It's your darling program, the Polity, and I can assure you that you'd have a great time again this afternoon, a time when national issues are discussed, when we bring in very valuable, very high quality guests to discuss some of these issues, so that together we can build a nation that is fitting of our dream. And of course, as usual, you would have opportunity to call in. I do hope that we won't take all the time. We'll allow you to call in, and as usual, you know the number to call: 080-299-38365. When it's time, I would alert you so that you also can be a part of building the nation of our dream. My name is Dayo Omoogun, and this afternoon I have some wonderful guests. We're going to be talking about the education sector, and of course we all know, especially at the tertiary level, we know that education has been in some form of crisis. Moving from one strike action to the other strike action, and it looks as if we keep looking forward to strike actions more than even times in school. You know, someone has said we are more off than on these days, you know, and that's very unfortunate. But here today we will be talking about that same sector and how we can arrest how we can avert these incessant strikes. And so this afternoon, I have the president of the National Association of Academic Technologists, and in the person of Comrade Ibeji, Nwakama, to my right. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Good to have you.
Pleasure to be here.
All right, good to have you too.
Thanks.
Yeah. And then to my left, you have Comrade Abubakar Yusuf, who is the General Secretary of the same association, the National Association of Academic Technologists. Am I correct?
All right.
Right.
Good to have me.
Right. Thank you. You're welcome. Now, quickly, we will go to the issues. First of all, I think I would like you to speak to Nigerians about what your association stands for and where does it derive its membership from? I mean, who are the members?
Okay. Thank you very much. Like I said, it's my pleasure to be here.
Right.
My name still remains Comrade Ibeji Nwakama EC.
Right.
I'm the president of National Association of Academic Technologists.
Right.
The tertiary education, particularly the university sector, the educational sector, is made up of a tripod.
Okay.
Just like this thing is standing on a tripod.
Tripod.
Yeah. Made up of the classroom, manned by the lecturers.
Right.
The library, manned by the librarians,
okay,
and the laboratory manned by the technologists.
Okay.
The lecturers, who are also our colleagues, go to the classroom to teach the theories.
Right.
And the technologists come to the laboratories, the studio, the workshops, the practical farms, to reduce the theories to its practicability.
Practice. Okay.
So we teach the practicals.
Okay.
That's where
you come in.
That's where we are involved.
All right.
And then our members course across all the tertiary institutions, the university, the polytechnics, and the colleges of education.
All right.
That's where we have our membership.
Oh, it's good to know. I'm sure Nigerians have been enlightened even with that little piece of information. And I'd like to find out the SANU and NASU right now, Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities and Non-Academic Staff of Universities, that is NASU, are on strike, right?
Yeah.
Right now as we speak.
Yes.
And there's the fear from the reports that we have, it looks as if your own organization is also set to join the strike. Is this correct?
Definitely.
Now, what are the issues? First of all, what are the issues? Why is SANU? Is it the same issue for which SANU is on strike that you people intend to go on strike? Is it the same thing?
Well, we have some similarities, but it's not completely
It's not perfectly the same.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Maybe we should take it from your own angle, because you definitely can't be speaking for SANU and NASU.
But we also have to take note of the fact that we have a common issue, payment of withheld salaries. And this common issue is for National Association of Academic Technologists, SANU, and NASU.
Okay.
Because when we went on strike in 2022, from March to August 2022, government refused to pay us for the period where we were on strike. Government said they invoked this law of no work, no pay. Yeah. And of course, all the university-based unions went on strike. Yeah. ASU, NAAT, SANU, and NASU.
Right.
So where this common front comes from is because after that strike, sometime December last year, the person who just left, Glary, who was an aide to the president, announced that President Ahmed Tinubu had given a waiver on the payment of the withheld salaries. And everybody was happy. Right. And he said it was for all university staff. Surprisingly, it was only a sector of the university staff that was paid half of their withheld salaries, and that is members of ASU. Leaving out members of NAAT, SANU, and NASU. All right. That's where
the problem is.
Yeah, that's where we said that we'll have a common interest in terms of our agitation while we are going on strike. That's just one issue out of the many.
Oh, that's just one?
That's just one issue, yes.
Okay, Comrade Yusuf, you probably want to lend your voice. What are some of the other issues?
Now, just like my president has said, the other issues include the non-implementation of the 2009 agreement. The agreement was not fully implemented. Okay, some items of the agreement were not implemented. And also the issue of renegotiation of that same agreement. Government started to do the renegotiation in 2018 and abandoned it. And again in 2022, started it and then again abandoned it.
Now let's get it gets interesting. Let's get a clear picture of this. Now, so there was an agreement in 2009. And you guys are aggrieved. You are angry that government did not fulfill the terms of that agreement. But even then, there was a further renegotiation. Is that what you're saying? There was supposed to be a renegotiation.
That agreement of 2009, as it was agreed then, is supposed to be renegotiated after every 3 years.
Okay, after every 3 years, which should have come up by 2012.
Thank you.
First of all, the first one, yes. 2012, 2015, 2018. Good. So, but after about almost 9
years now.
At 2018, it was about 9 years after.
Yeah.
And then that was the first time you people started to renegotiate, meaning that 2 terms before had been lost. Okay, but even that one was not completed, President.
Till date.
Until date, it has not been completed.
It's just 2 weeks ago that they set up another renegotiation committee, which is the third one. Okay.
Now, what are there still other issues?
Yeah, he just said few. In that 2009 agreement, it was agreed that technologists will get to the peak of their career. That means we are supposed to go to Contest 14 and Contest 15. Until date, in 2017, where we had the first MOU after that 2009 agreement, which is as a result of a strike action, after writing and visits and meetings, we had an MOU that specifically said that the head of service, through the Ministry of Education, should release enabling circular for our members to get to the peak of their career, which is Contest 14 and Contest 15. My brother, after so many efforts, even us, making sure that education had done all that they are supposed to do, till date, there's no circular. There's no enabling circular for our members to get to the peak of their career.
And that has been agreed, right?
In the 2009 agreement, it is agreed. In 2017 MOU, it is there. In 2021 MOU is there. In 2020 MOU is there. In 2022 MOU, they are all there. These are all contained in these MOUs.
All right. Now, beyond the MOUs, beyond those sittings, beyond those committee meetings, has this association now tried to at least prevail upon the head of service to say, or like a reminder that, look, we agreed this, what's happening about it? Has there been any such...
My General Secretary is here. We have had meetings with directors of head of service. Not just that. The Federal Ministry of Education had written to them. Like I said, they had visited all the zones. Federal Ministry of Education with the office of the head of service because they said that they need to go to all the zones to gather their data and information before they will be able to release this circular, because that is the normal thing.
The procedure.
The procedure. So they had gone all the zones. They had visited all the zones. They had done all this, and then now promised us that in the next few weeks, which has turned to months, which is turning to years, that the circular, enabling circular, was going to be released, because we had done all that we were supposed to do, and themselves had also visited all the zones.
And
but
yet, nothing has
happened.
All right, so we have talked about the 2009 agreement. We have talked about renegotiation that has failed up to now, and then including reaching the peak of your career, which is which any worker really would desire. Yeah, would desire. Now, but I would also have loved to hear of maybe a grievance that has to do with maybe how you can really do your work effectively. For example, are we okay with the equipment that you work with? Do universities actually have sufficient workshops, laboratories? Do they have the right equipment to teach? Because I've heard of stories of where somebody does engineering and he has never seen some implements. He has never seen. All he has experienced is a theory, no practice. Are there such situations?
That is part of our grievances.
So
if you look at our letter to the Minister of Education, letter to Minister of Labor, item number 5, item number 7 is just what you have said. We said dilapidated laboratories,
right?
Obsolete equipment.
Because
these are things that are practical. There's no student that will pass through science, technology, engineering that will not pass through the laboratories, the workshops. And how do you produce a student that is not technically sound, that is just go to the classroom, get theories and leave? And so how would he not fit into the industries? It is the technologies that make them to go through the laboratories. But my brother, go through the laboratories today. I'm telling you that in the laboratory, instead of using Bunsen burner, people are using stove.
That's serious. Now, don't you think that that's even the one to present that will, because you see, when you have a fight, I think that the more the issues that will draw the sympathy of the people more should be in the front burner of the discourse, because there's nobody who wants to hear, nobody would like to, and we all know that these are some of the challenges that our education system faces. And so I think that you should emphasize a lot more on some of those things, so that these other ones will now come under. That's not in any way saying that those other ones are less important, but I'm saying that there are some things that touch people's emotions. Because how can you, instead of a Bunsen burner, I had a Bunsen burner in my school, in secondary school, then a university,
quote me,
or a polytechnic,
I'm saying,
or a college of education will not have a Bunsen burner.
That is what is obtainable in our universities now.
Then very soon we could even talk that they don't have test tubes. Then very soon
my brother, sorry to say, even at times when government try to buy equipments, you understand, they don't involve the stakeholders. That's the end users, we the technologists, in procuring these equipments. They will go and procure equipment that does not have the other accessories.
The other components with which they can work together.
They just give a contract to a politician. The guy will just go and build, and maybe it's an old equipment, refurbished. They will just come and dump it in your lab and say you should sign to accept. If you refuse, the store officer will receive it on your behalf. is what we have. We have so many equipment that are even in the cartons.
And they are not useful.
Not useful. Government has invested
so much money
on it and becoming West. It's very unfortunate.
Wow. Nigerians, I hope that you're watching this. Tell your neighbor something's happening on KAFTAN TV right now they can't afford to miss. And after the break, we'll get back again. We'll take a break.
A world where information is vital to every individual, a platform where technology is a medium to pass information. You can always catch up on all information written in the newspapers, even without having one. Join us on The Press.
Reaching you live from the Abuja studios.
On The Punch for this morning. The Blueprint newspaper, Nigerian Tribune this morning.
As we give you information and opinions about current events and topical issues on politics, business, sports, entertainment, weather forecasts, and lots more in the local city, across all states, and across all countries. Showing daily on Startimes, channel 124, 9 a.m. West African time, only on KAFTAN TV. Stay connected with us.
That he said it is a reason why I will not do it.
I pursue the federal government to pay us our damages.
YouTube, KAFTAN TV.
A very tricky one. And then the bottom line is this.
Website www.kaftan.tv.
Point is, the youth must come together. The pendulum can swing in your favor.
Instagram, KAFTAN_TV. KAFTAN TV. Imagine a beautiful world.
My name is Sheila BCFR, the Black Comedian of the Federal Republic. I tell you, when it comes to the best of entertainment, the best of news, the best of information, something that is educative, you're right here at the best place to see that. It's KAFTAN TV. You know what? Increase the volume. Keep watching. Don't touch the dial, okay?
It's your girl Nkechi Blessing Sunday. I want you all to keep watching KAFTAN TV.
Please keep watching KAFTAN TV. It is the best civil station in the country. They're doing an amazing job. Please do not touch the dial. Keep watching. Thank you.
My name is Sheila BCFR, the Black Comedian of the Federal Republic. I tell you, when it comes to the best of entertainment, the best of news, the best of information, something that is educative, you're right here at the best place to see that. It's KAFTAN TV. You know what? Increase the volume. Keep watching. Don't touch the dial, okay?
It's your girl Nkechi Blessing Sunday. I want you all to keep watching KAFTAN TV.
Please keep watching KAFTAN TV. It is the best civil station in the country. They're doing an amazing job. Please do not touch the dial. Keep watching. Thank you.
My name is Sheila BCFR, the Black Comedian of the Federal Republic. I tell you, when it comes to the best of entertainment, the best of news, the best of information, something that is educative, you're right here at the best place to see that. It's KAFTAN TV. You know what? Increase the volume. Keep watching. Don't touch the dial, okay?
It's your girl Nkechi Blessing Sunday. I want you all to keep watching KAFTAN TV.
Please keep watching KAFTAN TV. It is the best civil station in the country. They're doing an amazing job. Please do not touch the dial. Keep watching. Thank you.
My name is Sheila BCFR, the Black Comedian of the Federal Republic. I tell you, when it comes to the best of entertainment, the best of...
In the beginning, God created a beautiful world.
3, 2, 1. Action.
And that's why, at KAFTAN Television,
we imagine a beautiful world.
We are not just bragging.
We blaze the trail in broadcasting. And it is about you.
At KAFTAN TV, broadcasting is not just about information, education, and entertainment.
It's an aggregation of all you need to know in Nigeria
and around the world to create signal.
At KAFTAN Television.
Welcome back, viewers. We're still on the Polity, coming to you from the Abuja studio of KAFTAN Television, and my name is Dayo, Omoogun. With me in the studio are two principal officers of the National Association of Academic Technologists. And to my right is the president, Ibeji Nwakama, and to my left is the general secretary, Abubakar Yusuf. And we've been talking about the issues in the higher institutions and how the lapses and the reasons why they might also be joining the strike very soon. Let's hope that this doesn't really happen, because that's part of the reason why we're talking now. Now, so we have seen that there are issues about agreements, failure of agreements, failure of negotiations, failure of infrastructure, from what we just talked about, and even capacity. You were talking about. Let's hear that part. Let Nigerians hear that.
Yeah, I said when these universities were built, some were built in the 1960s, 1970s, and these laboratories were built to accommodate 20 students at a time, and most of the equipment in these laboratories would not be more than maybe for science-based laboratories. You might have UV, you might have amino acid analyzer, you might have AAS, you might have a spectrophotometer, and there will not be more than 2 in a particular laboratory. But these days, universities admit over 500 students.
That
some
are supposed
300
to sit
students
for the same class at the same time.
Fine. And by the time you are supposed to have a practical class, the laboratory that is built for 50 students are now expected to take 300 students to 500 students. And remember that the equipment in that laboratory are not more than 2.
And these 2 have been there for so long too.
For years. And that's why we're saying obsolete equipment. And you know that technology grows per time, per day, per hour. And so the equipment that we used in 1970, 1980 cannot be the same equipment that we're talking about now.
No.
And government does not in any form replace this equipment or improve them or even train the people who are using them, because an analog technology is a problem to the system.
Right,
and so you need to be trained and retrained.
Okay.
But the truth remains that the equipment are obsolete and the people using it are not even trained on the use of new equipment.
So that's another angle you just brought in. Training.
Yes.
Training of the personnel.
Yes.
Training of you people.
Yes.
Right.
And it is part of our problem with government.
All right. Now, I do hope and I believe that government is listening. And I do hope that measures can be taken to ensure that this strike does not happen. And so, as we continue. Now, so you have said that by next week, is it? Next week, Tuesday?
Next week, Tuesday. Yes.
Next week, Tuesday.
No, Wednesday, 6th.
Oh, Wednesday, okay.
Yes.
Now, so what exactly can be done to avert this strike? In any case, why is it has become a very regular feature in higher institutions now that you have to revert to strike action? Is it that there is no other measure by which you can put across your grievances without necessarily dislocating the calendar, for example? Because as we speak, we have a situation, for example, where you have up to like, I think 2021 law school, for example, 2021 law school students are still in law school. 2021, this is 2024. I also have somebody who is very close to me who is of 2022 session, that is in law school. So the 2 sessions are trying to run concurrently somehow. And that's something that should have been done with. 2002 should have been done with. Even 2003 should have been close to maybe rounding up, if not done with. But today, that's the situation we find ourselves in because of all the strike actions. So, as much as possible, the average parent, especially, the average student will want a situation where we can avoid strikes. Is this not possible? Because you see, what it has brought into the system is that you only know when you start school. You don't know when you're going to end. And that's very unfortunate for both students and parents. And I know that you also are parents. And so I do not know how that, how you receive that and how you respond to that.
Well, my brother, thank you very much. As union leaders and as a responsible union, we don't just ask government to do things that are not possible or things that are not practicable. You know, all Nigerians know that before the removal of subsidy, that the sharing an amount of money that is accruable to federal government, state government, and local government was in billions.
Oh, sure, yeah.
But today, it is in trillions. And we're saying no country can develop beyond its level of education. If there is such windfall, if government is now receiving trillions, is it not possible for some to be saved and channel towards solving the problems in the education sector? Must we eat everything that we get? When fuel subsidy was removed or fuel was increased in subsequent administrations, what they normally do is to create some kind of platform where some of these monies are channeled to. Somewhere, even Abacha of the blessed memory.
TED Fund.
Did that. No, that TED Fund is a different thing.
Okay.
That was
PTF.
PTF.
Okay, PTF.
That was how PTF came into being.
Okay.
And so now that there is such a thing, is it not possible for government to also create a platform where some of these problems in the educational sector can be solved? It is very possible. And moreover, the UNDP distinct for education is 26%. No government, including the federal government, has ever allocated up to 15% of their budgetary allocations to education.
No, I think that we had 15% recently. But okay, the point is this. I see your point clearly. Nigerians, sympathize with the unions most of the time. Nigerians feel the pulse. They feel the pain of workers. But at the same time, it's a difficult situation because if you ask for 26%, for example, that means 1/4 of the entire sum will be devoted to education. In fact, more than 1/4. And then you have a whole lot of other issues to also grapple with. We're talking about a country that is still rated as one of the poorest, if not the poorest, around the world. But again, I think that your point is well made when you say if we have had some windfall or if we have had some savings from not paying subsidy on fuel, why shouldn't a portion of it be dedicated to funding education and funding the specific deficiencies that really matter, that can make a whole lot of difference in the sector?
That's what
I think you have a solid point, no doubt.
Maybe what I want to add here is the issue of priority. Government does not deem that education should be put in the first list of priority, because if they thought that way, I believe they will have done that. Because now, if you look at the issue of what they are allocating to security in the nation, it's almost getting to 40%. But what is happening? Has the security been addressed? The insecurity issue, has it been addressed? We are still battling on it.
It's a problem, really.
Yeah.
I'm going to invite you, dear viewer, to call into the program. The number is on the screen, 08029938365, and we do expect you to make your own point so that we can do this and make it as robust and as rich as possible. Thank you very much. Now, so we'll continue now, and we expect your call, and please do make sure that you call in to make your own point.
In a world where information is vital to every individual, a platform where technology is a medium to pass information, you can always catch up on all information written in the newspapers, even without having one. Join us on The Press.
Reaching live from the Abuja studios.
On the Punch for this morning, the Blueprint newspaper, Nigerian Tribune this morning.
As we give you information and opinions about current events and topical issues on politics, business, sports, entertainment, weather forecasts, and lots more in the local city, across all states, and across all countries. Showing daily on Startimes, Channel 124, 9 a.m. West African time, only on KAFTAN TV. Stay connected with us.
That he said it is a reason why I will not do it.
I pursue the federal government to pay us our damages.
YouTube, KAFTAN TV.
A very tricky one, and then the bottom line is this.
Website www.kaftan.tv.
Point is, the youth must come together. The pendulum can swing in your favor.
Instagram, KAFTAN_TV. KAFTAN TV. Imagine a beautiful world. In a world where information is vital to every individual, a platform where technology is a medium to pass information, you can always catch up on all information written in the newspapers, even without having one. Join us on The Press.
Reaching live from the Abuja studios.
On the Punch for this morning, the Blueprint newspaper, Nigerian Tribune this morning.
As we give you information and opinions about current events and topical issues on politics, business, sports, entertainment, weather forecasts, and lots more in the local city, across all states, and across all countries. Showing daily on Startimes, Channel 124, 9 a.m. West African time, only on KAFTAN TV. Stay connected with us.
That he said it is a reason why I will not do it.
I pursue the federal government to pay us our damages.
YouTube, KAFTAN TV.
A very tricky one, and then the bottom line is this.
Website www.kaftan.tv.
Point is, the youth must come together. The pendulum can swing in your favor.
Instagram, KAFTAN_TV. KAFTAN TV. Imagine a beautiful world. In a world where information is vital to every individual, a platform where technology is a medium to pass information, you can always catch up on all information written in the newspapers, even without having one. Join us on The Press.
Reaching live from the Abuja studios.
On the Punch for this morning, the Blueprint newspaper, Nigerian Tribune this morning.
As we give you information and opinions about current events and topical issues on politics, business, sports, entertainment, weather forecasts, and lots more in the local city, across all states, and across all countries. Showing daily on Startimes, Channel 124, 9 a.m. West African time, only on KAFTAN TV. Stay connected with us.
That he said it is a reason why I will not do it.
I pursue the federal government to pay us our damages.
YouTube, KAFTAN TV.
A very tricky one, and then the bottom line is this.
Website www.kaftan.tv.
Point is, the youth must come together. The pendulum can swing in your favor.
Instagram, KAFTAN_TV. KAFTAN TV. Imagine a beautiful world.
Welcome back, dear viewers, and we're still here on KAFTAN television. The Polity is the program. My name is Dayo, Omoogun, and then we've been talking about the crisis in the education sector, where you have recurring strike actions all the time. And we're trying to look at what are the issues and what are the possible solutions. And that's what we're driving at. And luckily, the caller who called in the last time tried to proffer some very workable, what I think are very workable solutions. And one of them that he has come out with that is not commonly talked about is the last point that he made when he said, if there are parts of the 2009 agreement that have become either because of friction of time or whatever, if they have become unimplementable, why don't you put your cards on the table, face up, so that that can be discussed and taken out of the way, so that these unions will not keep referring to the 2009 agreement, because it sounds very awkward. It's not good to the hearing to keep talking about 2009 agreement in 2024. That's 15 years after. I mean, it doesn't sound well. So I think that that's a very huge counsel that has come from that caller. So, but beyond that, he has also talked about why don't we put some money aside, just following from what the president also talked about before. So this whole point is that this union, this association might be joining the strike from next week Wednesday, and we can make this not to happen. And I'm appealing to the government to listen and do something about their grievances so that this does not happen. It doesn't do any of us any good. And so they themselves, because they have responsibility as union leaders, they have to do this. I mean, that's the point you were making. Yeah. When I said to you, for example, how does it feel that you also are parents, but you did say you are not just jumping to go on strikes and all that. Let's have that.
Yeah, I just said that one, by the fact that as a union, and a responsible one for that matter, there are procedures before you can go on strike. Honestly speaking, strike action is the last resort. Exactly, it's supposed to be the last resort. You don't just, by Labour Act, you don't just go into the strike action. And also remember that this strike action is not a new thing. It's not a new one. We had suspended this strike action in 2023, in August 2022. Okay. But between that August 2022 and now, one will be tempted to ask, what have the unions done? We have written series of letters. We have had series of meetings. We have had warning strike. We have had protests. We have had demonstrations. We have had meetings with ministers of education. We have had meetings in Federal Ministry of Labor. All to no avail. All they want is sign an MOU, and the moment you leave, it is allowed to gather dust. And how long can you continue like that? And this, just like this last one, after our NEC meeting in Wukari on 26th and 27th of September, we issued a 21-day ultimatum to government.
All right.
The government should please do this and this and that. My brother, it's regrettable to know that for this length of time, government neither acknowledged that the receipt of the 21-day ultimatum, nor invited us for any meeting, or not did government even bother to do anything.
Up to now.
Up to today.
Well, government, the ball is really in your court as it is, because if you have gotten an ultimatum, a 21-day ultimatum, that's about that has expired, right?
Yes, it has expired, and we have just issued a 14 days.
14-day ultimatum has been issued, and which will expire on Tuesday.
It will expire on 13th.
Okay, on the 13th.
Yes.
But first of all, you guys intend to go on would that be a warning strike?
No, it's not going to. It's going to be a full-blown strike. If between that time and 13th, between the 30th, which is yesterday, and 13th of November, government does not do anything. One, we have started the process. We have told our students, we have mobilized, asked our apprentices to mobilize for action. By 6th of November, our branches are expected to call congresses. One, to take a referendum, because it's a democratic thing, whether we should proceed or not on strike. And if majority of our branches, who are our principals, ask us to go on strike, there is nothing that will stop it except government listings and do the needful. That's the only thing that will stop us from going on strike. So on the 6th, all over the country, our branches shall be demonstrating.
Okay.
And then after that 6th, we will have demonstration and picketing of Ministry of Finance on the 14th of November. And thereafter, we will proceed on an indefinite
Federal
strike.
Ministry of Finance.
Yes.
No. Right.
Because it's the Federal Minister of Finance that is holding the payment of the withheld salaries.
Oh.
The federal, of course, the president has
as
given
far
it,
as the presidency is concerned,
yes, they've
done.
approved. He has given approval. The Ministry of Education has also written a letter to the Ministry of Finance, to the Minister of Finance, that he should effect payment. And I want to make it clear, this is national television, that between that time, between July and now, that letter has been in the Minister of Finance office.
Between July
till
and
now,
and no action
has been taken.
All right, okay. Now, so let me ask you, what exactly can stop this strike? Because clearly, you and I know that from experience, government is not likely to be able to say that they will attend to everything. But what are those 1-2 things that if they do now can avert this strike? Because I think that we're sick, we're strike sick. We're sick of strikes.
The minimum requirement is for alert. We must receive, and it's embarrassing, it's a national embarrassment that the president of a country, of a nation, will give approval and
some other subordinate
is sitting on it. So the minimum requirement is for our members to receive the half, which is the 50% of Mr. President graciously asked them to pay us everything that we are being owed. But they said because they paid ASU 50%, that they are going to pay 50%. But so the minimum requirement is for them to pay our 2.5 months of salaries, withheld salaries, and then call for further negotiations. We are ready to go into further negotiations to look at these other ones. But the minimum requirement.
Okay, at least that will show that you are being listened to.
Fine.
You are getting some attention.
Exactly. Yes.
All right. So the government, go ahead to send 2.5 months, like they have said, and then you can begin to discuss from that point. I think that's fair enough. Now, quickly, let me ask, what exactly, from what you said just now, I just need clarity, and I know Nigerians want clarity. Are you saying that the president gave go-ahead for the entire thing? The entire 4 months?
Yes, 4 months for SANU and NASU. Because when in 2022 we went on strike,
yes,
we started this strike action before SANU and NASU.
Yes.
Immediately ASU started, NAAT started their own, and then later on SANU and NASU started. And so our members are being owed 5.5 months of the withheld salaries.
Okay.
That's the period we are not paid salaries.
Yes.
So Mr. President graciously said, go and clear the arrears of the indebtedness.
Right.
Until date, nothing has been done. But the waiver ASU had, what government paid them was for half of what they were being owed, which is 7.5 months. No, they were
okay, 7.5 months.
Yes, so the government directed that they should be paid 4 months, which had been paid.
Okay.
Fine. And so they now said that for us to, that even though Mr. President has said pay all, that it will be unfair and whatever, I don't know, but that they want to pay 50%.
Which you have put at like 2.5 months.
Yes, which is like our 2.5 months.
Let's take this call. Oops, we lost him. Now, so to some extent, I mean, if my understanding is correct, what it means is that even the unions have also granted concessions after the presidential directive, because the directive was 100% payment.
Definitely.
But when the ministries went back to work and looked at it and did the checks and balances, they felt that it would not be right. And then they put it, and yet the unions have said,
we say pay the 50%.
Pay what you have.
Of course, if somebody is owing you 100,000 naira
and it comes with 20,000, you better collect.
Of course, you collect and then continue to ask for the balance.
All right.
That's how unions operate.
All right. Is there a possibility that after being paid the 2.5, that there will still be a demand for the balance?
Of course. It's our entitlement. It's our right. Because why we're saying it's our right is because as academic technologists, within the period we were on strike, we had gone back and students had graduated, we had done that work for which our salaries were being held. And so we are now saying, pay us because we had done this work. We had graded
so
the practicals.
the principle, okay, sorry to cut you, the principle of no work, no pay can no longer be
applied.
applicable. That's what you're saying. Because the work has not been done.
We have graduated students, we had marked our practicals, we had done the practicals, and academic calendar has started running smoothly.
All right. You out there, okay, let's, a call is here, let's see. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes?
I'm watching this interview that's going on with the NAAT president.
Right.
My name is Mrs. Hazan Alachipo, Dr. Mrs. Hazan Alachipo. My contribution here is to let our government know that they should act as government and as parents and as fathers to union leaders and to workers. This recurrent estimate that keeps coming as 2009 agreement it's been there for too long. I wish the Tinubu government would just rise up and do something drastic and let it be laid to rest and let things start moving with the union workers properly. One, all the areas of all the payments that MOU have been agreed on should be paid. These areas should be paid. They should look for money, pay them and put everything behind them and start on a new page. That's my sincere advice. A lot of MOUs, protests, strikes, as if the government is just insensitive. I want to appeal to the government to please rise up and be sensitive for once and give workers that motivation, that sense of belonging, so that they will be happy with their job. Imagine using tools as a person bonus. Yes, job fulfillment is that. There's no job fulfillment. So holistically, the government should please look into the education system and do what's proper. Thank you very much.
Thank you for calling in. I mean, not just job fulfillment, but the fact that the students are also being put through wrong tutelage, because the bouncing burner is totally different from a stove. Hello?
I'm listening to you.
No, I think you'd rather just, we would have you cut off so that other persons can call, and then you can watch the rest of the show. Thanks. Yeah. Hello?
Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
This is Stanley calling from Kaduna.
All right.
Yeah. Talking about this university lecturers strike. I think someone should tell President Tinubu that he has failed Nigeria. He has failed. Because all his promises, he told us that if he enters as president, that the issue of ASUT strike will be a thing of the past. We are very, very surprised that what is happened then has continued. I want to ask President Tinubu, since he entered with a renewed hope, what has he advanced that will put him better in Nigeria? What has he put that's giving Nigerians hope? Let him answer that very question. Just think around. We're in the north. For 2 weeks now, this is my first time of seeing television. Because they took our life.
Congratulations, at least he's back.
Thank you very much, sir. But for how many minutes will you see it? But to the God be the glory, I'm seeing it now. So we are just dying in silence. I don't know. My son is in university. Who's supposed to collect his papers last Tuesday? And last Tuesday, this was started strike. So this boy continues to be there, waiting for them. Harper. This boy has spent up to 9 years in the university. And this is the last day they give him. The last day, now he has entered another one. My own son, my first son. So someone should tell Tinubu that he has failed. He has already failed. Because people are dying because of his so-called economic reforms. God bless Nigeria.
God bless Nigeria. Thank you very much, Stanley. And you know, I did make a reference to that while talking a while ago, that it has come to a point where what you only know is when you get into school. You don't have a guarantee of when you're going to finish. And that's not good for planning. It's not good for the purse, the pocket of parents, of guardians. I mean, the effects are there are ripple effects of that. Now, still talking about the strike. I want to believe that this is going to go viral, and so many people who can take decisions will hear about this. If they call you people for a meeting, I hope that you are open to the discussion.
Definitely, we're open to dialogue. On the 5th, the Minister of Labour and Employment has invited us for a meeting on the 5th.
On the 5th.
And we are open to discussion.
All right.
But what we are saying is that we have had a lot of
discussions.
We've had a lot of...
President, please hold on. Let me see. Hello, good afternoon. Yeah? What's the name?
My name is Peter.
Wow. It looks like your TV set, the volume is too high. Or just move around, move from where you are right now, and let's have your thoughts, yeah?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, if it continues this way is good, yeah?
Our government are not like their state putting in Nigeria. They moved and they don't have
you know what we'll do? Let's see if you can try and call back later. Thank you. Now, so you have a meeting for 5th.
Yes.
That's a day before your scheduled demonstration.
Yes.
And also a day before the congresses.
Yes.
Okay. Now, and do you think in any way that that's some form of ambushment? Do you think that that meeting was deliberately set to, having given 21 days of a notice before and a further 14 days that have all expired, and now they're just talking about a meeting? Do you see? Let's take this.
Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Yes.
This is Engineer Dibanjo from Amadu Bello.
All right. Go ahead now.
I would like to advise my NAAT president not to honor any of their meetings. Because these people are just taking us for granted.
That's one of your members right there. Go on.
Why would you, the president give you approval to pay salary, return salary of some staff, you decide to pay some parts and leave other parts? Don't honor any meeting, please, sir. Don't honor any meeting. Once they pay, you can honor any meeting. They are taking us for granted.
Wow. All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
That's one of your members. How they
I'm
feel.
bitter.
Exactly.
You can feel the pulse of members of the university community. But the other dimension, okay, you have it.
No, I think we should have you. You're gone.
Okay, the other dimension to the problem of university education in Nigeria is, I'm also thinking that there is a conspiracy theory. While growing up, we were all in public primary schools. We all passed through public secondary schools. But what is happening now? The public schools is for maths. Primary, secondary. The people that matter in the society send their children
to
private schools, private primary school, private nursery, private primary, private secondary.
University. No.
And we are also beginning to think that there is a policy, or that there are bourgeois, or there are government, some persons in government that have private universities who are bent on ensuring that the public universities are run down.
You might not be far from the truth. You might not be far from the truth, because, I mean, how do you explain that a country that is as rich as Nigeria can't fund public schools? How do you, and like you said a while ago, we have had some windfall here and there. Why can't some of it be channeled? Let's see if we can take this. Hello? Good afternoon. Oh, we lost him. Now, so I see your point. I mean, just yesterday, was it yesterday, news came that licenses, fresh licenses for building refineries have been issued, which is a clear signal that the non-repair of the public refineries is beginning, the real agenda is beginning to unfold. To unfold. Because you see, how can you say that government cannot put back the refineries 20 years or more? For 20 years, you cannot put back the refineries. Yet, you now want to issue licenses for refineries, which is to say, let's kill these ones so that our own private concerns can. I mean, so you might not be far from the truth. And that is very unfortunate because it will never be possible for everybody to attend a private school. It's not going to be, it's not likely that everybody will be able to attend private schools. So the earlier government gets down and faces the task of ensuring inclusivity, ensuring that everybody is carried along. The child of the carpenter, the child of the bourgeois, the child of the have-nots. Everybody needs to get an education, and it's not a luxury. It's a basic.
It's a right.
It's a right.
Yeah.
It's not a luxury. So government needs to know that. So, gentlemen, we need to also. I on behalf, I don't know. I really would like to appeal that if you have the opportunity of having a discussion, I know your colleague called in and said that you should not honor any discussion, any invitation. But sincerely, I think that discussions are very useful. But I just was thinking along the other time, the timing when you have already scheduled a demonstration, is it just a way of also just holding you back? And then at the end, nothing comes. I hope that that's not the situation.
Well,
I hope that that's
we're
not the
open
situation.
to discussion.
It's very crucial.
We cannot close any discussion.
That's it.
But we have a minimum benchmark.
Right.
That any discussion that is meant to persuade us, to assuage us, to cajole us, to plead with us, to buy time, to stop us from demonstrating, or from engaging in protest, or from going on strike, will be null and void. What will trigger us from protesting, what will stop us from protesting, what will stop us from going on strike is alert. Pay our members the 2.5 months that you have even accepted to pay, that has been graciously agreed and approved by Mr. President. If you fail to do that, we'll let the whole world know that it is embarrassing that we're in a country where people do things the way they like, where people do not even fear to implement. But I mean, the president's statement is law.
It's supposed to be.
Supposed to be law.
Yeah.
And if a president will say, go ahead and pay these people, and somebody is sitting on it, it's very regrettable and uncharitable and unfortunate.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. What's your name?
Yeah, I'm Dayo by name. I call from Akure.
All right, Olawale, you're welcome. Let's have your thoughts.
Thank you. Kudos to you in the studio there.
Thank you.
And I want to say that the problem we're having in our education sector as of today is largely caused by the government. It's largely caused by the government. And I'm appealing to government not to truncate the peace we are enjoying in the university as at now. Students suffer more. And the parents that are sponsoring these students, you know, the hardship they are going through to solve for the school fee, accommodation and the rest, coupled with the present economic situation. Now, we are aware that this particular union, they education. The full union under your ministry went on strike on the same reason. And you are comfortably, satisfied to pay one and leaving the other. In other words, this is cosmos chaos and problems in our educational sector. I want to appeal to government to ensure that the demand of all these are met in order for our children to be in school and have seamless study and graduate within the stipulated time. This is my own opinion, and I'm appealing to government to do the needful before they go on strike again. More so, some are already on strike, and we are not finding it in the university sector. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill Olawale. Thank you so much. Well made points there. Of course, we do know that, this is taking a very huge toll on parents and students. You had the experience of somebody who called from Kaduna the other time, Stanley, who said his son has spent about 9 years.
9 years, yes.
And of course, I do not know of any program that runs beyond like 5 years.
Apart from medicine.
Apart from medicine.
And architecture.
Oh, exactly. So 9 years is totally, and even those ones don't get up to 9 years.
No.
6,
6
7,
years.
6,
6
6.
years.
So you can imagine that. So I really think that it's a very unfortunate situation, very painful situation that you have no, and that's why when you talk about maybe a positioning, a conspiracy to frustrate the public sector schools in order to position the private schools, there's a whole lot of weight in it, because now people begin to see, if you go to a private school, you can be sure of your 4 years or 5 years, whatever depending on the course. You can be sure that your 4 years is 4 years, your 5 years is 5 years. All it will take is that you will need a lot more money. You need a lot more money. Multiples of the money that you would have spent in
public schools.
So, thinking in that light is very correct. It's sound. That's unfortunate though, because it should be a matter of choice whether you want to go to public or private university. And we're seeing it in several other sectors. I just talked about the oil sector and all that. And as we begin to round up gradually, we'll take a few calls and then round up. Hello?
Yes, hello. This is Shengwa from Taraba.
All right, Shengwa, you're welcome.
Yes, I want to contribute. To me, the elite of Nigeria, the program educational sector, as where they can paralyze the country. What you are talking is university level. Even in the local education authority, that the government sing money. The governor paralyzed. You see headmaster on level 14, but they are paying only level 3. Go all over to UP in Nigeria, especially in the north. They are paying them level 3, and you have no right to speak. They don't want education in this country. Without they are saying they are hearing, but they are doing intentionally to paralyze education in this country. How can a country that Nigeria will have something, see all we have in suppression? Please, if they can hear and change, we shall be grateful, but to us we see there's nothing. Thank you.
Wow. Is that ever possible that somebody who is on level 14 will be paid level 3?
Go to the local.
Only level 3 they are paying here. Go to Taraba, go to Koji, anywhere you can see.
Wow. Thank you very much, Shigwa. You mean somebody is officially on level 14 and they'll be paid for level 3? I don't understand that.
Yeah, I think what he's trying to say here is that the amount of money that is being paid at level 14 is maybe equivalent to that of level 3 in another, maybe in a private sector.
All right, okay, maybe something like that, because
the amount of money.
Okay,
yes.
maybe. So, President, what will you be saying to your members, your union members right now, and what will you be saying also to government? And I don't know whether you have to say something to your university communities too.
Yeah, of course, there's a message. It's a message of hope, message of assurance that our members should stay calm, that the national leadership of the union is on top of the game, that our members should note that from 6th, if between now and 6th, government fails to do the needful, and if the only language government likes to hear or listens to is strike action, and then we don't have any option, because we have fulfilled everything that has to do with the Labour Act. On our own part, we have also satisfied our conscience. We are not warmongers. We are not strike mongers. We have our children in these schools too. And the truth is that there is hunger in the land. And if government is owing us, they should pay. Government should be able to walk their talk. That's what we're saying. The government should pay. Our this thing to government, our message to government is, government, please do the needful. Minister of Finance, please do the needful. Whoever is sitting on this, whoever is disobeying Mr. President's directive, please do the needful. That's what we're saying.
Yeah, maybe the message should also go to Mr. President that whoever is defying his instructions should be...
Mr. President should know that these people are undermining his government.
Exactly, because in the end, he carries the can. The box stops at his desk, and everybody's attention is, oh, Tinubu, Tinubu, Tinubu. Whereas there are persons under him who are frustrating maybe his good intentions, you know. So I think that message also needs to go to Mr. President. Now, let me ask you, have you had, ever since that directive and ever since it got like ambushed somewhere, have you had like a meeting? Has there been an opportunity of a meeting between your body and the Ministry of Finance, for example?
The much we have done is that we have gone to I personally, with somebody from Ministry of Education, had gone to see the Minister of Finance.
Okay.
Unfortunately, that day they said he would not be able to see anybody. But we went to the registry to find out these mails from Federal Minister of Education conveying the President's approval.
Yes.
Where is it now?
Oh, okay.
Has it been minuted out? It is. We have discovered that it had been in the Minister's office. It's not just that letter. There's another letter from Federal Minister of Education on the arrears of our occupational hazard allowance. The former Minister of Education wrote to the Minister of Finance for approval our 7 months occupational hazard allowance that you should please pay in the interest of industrial harmony. That letter, since it was written, is still in the Minister's office, not minuted out till date.
And no reasons given, no new development. It's not as if there has been another...
Nothing. That's why we want to picket that office. That's why we are going to go to that office for days and stay and make sure that nobody enters that office, including the minister.
From the 6th, is that it?
No, from the 14th. That's from the 6th is national protest. But from the 14th will be national protest. We'll protest and we'll picket the Minister of Finance office. We'll do that. Because we are Nigerians. Nigeria does not belong to one person. We are all Nigerians, and we are entitled to peaceful assembly. We are entitled to peaceful association.
No, President, just hold on. Hello?
Good afternoon, KAFTANTV once again.
Yeah, good afternoon.
S.O. Dudu calling from Cross River.
You have a way by which you get onto this line all the time. You have 1 minute.
Yes,
you have 1 minute.
Caller.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, 1 minute.
Thank you so much. The President, let me just go straight. The President, with all due respect, I am so happy that you say if you have been called upon for any further dialogue, you are going to honor it. Be very careful. If the meeting is aimed at playing with time, don't key in, don't concede. And to Mr. President, I want to talk to you as an APC member, not just an APC member, but a member of APC since 2014.
You mean the President of the Federal Republic now, right?
I am talking to the President as an APC member since 2014.
Yeah, because we have one president here, so and you were talking to him before.
I'm talking to the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
You need to make that distinction.
Yes, I'm not doing that. Mr. President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, I'm an APC since 2014. It is quite unfortunate will work for you to ensure that you emerge as the president. And if there is anyone that is trying to spoil your administration and you are aware you are shading the person, I am telling you that by 2027, if you don't do the needful, most especially by directing the Ministry of Finance to pay the union that you have approved by 2014, by 2027 it will not be easy, because you are joking with the Nigerian youths that are in the public varsity. They will speak through the ballot, Mr. President, Federal Republic of Nigeria. Please, sir, I'm on my knees and I'm listening, but please, sir, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Dudu. Right, so you have gotten some advice there that you should not allow anybody to browbeat you and all that. It's unfortunate what we are faced with. As we begin to round up, I think that we can avert this, and I hope that the relevant authorities are watching and that they will take the necessary steps. It does no one of us any good. It doesn't help the image of the country, doesn't add any value whatsoever for us to constantly experience a specter of strikes and strikes one after the other from different sectors. I mean, you recall that there was this strike that medical doctors, they gave ultimatum, and then on the day that they have started, that's when the government ran and pleaded with them and all that. It's just yesterday that doctor was freed. You know, the major grounds of that decision.
Somebody was kidnapped.
One of them was kidnapped,
yes,
with a nephew. It's just yesterday now that the medical doctor was freed. I just read it in the news. So it's that bad, and it's becoming as if government is being deliberately insensitive in these matters. Because why would you wait till the point of strike?
Just as we want to start on 6th
now,
and you're inviting us on the 5th.
On the 5th, whereas there had been several ultimatums before now. So I think that we can do better than this. Government functionaries, we can do a whole lot better than this. We can manage our disputes and our conflicts far better than this. Because what it also does is that it puts us in a good image around the world. That's the reason. I had a discussant here recently who said he invited some people, he traveled abroad, he invited them and said, why don't you come and invest in Nigeria? And they said, your country? No, we can't come there, because if we have issues, where's the judiciary that will take care of issues? So these are some of the things. They all add up in the final analysis. And so at this point, just maybe one minute each on both sides. You want to give your last line, and then we can move it from, leave it at that. One minute, 90.
My message to Nigerians, and particularly the National Assembly, because they are the ones representing Nigerians, and we have a committee on university education, and they are sitting there in the chambers watching what is happening. They're supposed to act, they're supposed to advise the government, because there is a saying that if you want to destroy a nation, you destroy the education sector. And Nigeria cannot afford that as a developing nation that is blessed with mineral resources and human resources. Nigeria is supposed to be far ahead of what we are today. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And that was from the General Secretary of NAAT, Abubakar Yusuf. And let's hear from the President, Ibeji Nwakama.
Thank you very much, my host. And my message is simple and it's clear. We call on well-meaning Nigerians. We call on the press. We call on civil society organizations. We call on student unions. We call on everybody that matter in the country, the masses, to prevail on government to abort this strike action that is looming. 2 of the unions are already on strike. If we join, and then the whole place is grounded to a halt, and it does not speak good of the system. That is why no Nigerian university today is rated in the first 1,000 when you are rating universities. How can they rate us when every year we are on strike? Every year is one crisis or the other. And it's very unfortunate. So please, I want to ask that people should please prevail on government to do the needful. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Viewers, we will leave it here now. My guests, you have heard from them, from the National Association of Academic Technologists, the President and the General Secretary, Ibeji Nwakama and Abubakar Yusuf respectively. And they've articulated their standpoint, and you can see that they're not just being unnecessarily troublesome. You can decode that by yourself. In actual fact, those who have called in have also supported their stand. And so we appeal, all of us appeal to government to do the needful, because it's in our interest, all of us. And so at this point, I want to thank you, everyone who made the calls, everyone who has stayed tuned to their TVs. Thank you very much. Tell them about KAFTAN Television. It's happening here. And also, I want to say thank you to the wonderful production team and to the producer of the program. I remain Dayo Omoogun. Tomorrow is another day. Join us on the Polity, and you can be sure that we bring fresh issues to be dissected by great minds all the time. Thank you very much. At this point, we will have to go now.